Okay, great stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is webinar 7 in our series of ChartGO, our AI-powered platform and content solution, really focusing on your capabilities in order to truly make a real impact in your business. We spoke about this in length. We have shifted our focus to say, how can we really look at a learning ecosystem? So instead of just individual components, how do we look at this ecosystem where all the parts come together and really help you truly see behavior change and even organizational shift? So I'm going to start as our traditional way with our video introduction, but I really want to just emphasize today's webinar. We are going to unpack another evolution of our focus and expertise, which is leadership and of course personal development. So we're going to dig a bit deeper into what is key for leadership in these times we are in, the importance of self-awareness and leadership and that combination, and then we're going to unpack some real interesting components where it fits in with ChartGO. So thank you for joining us, and we're really going to unpack in a bit more detail today's webinar.
Your team has incredible potential, but turning that potential into performance, that takes more than content. It takes structured journeys, social learning, and real accountability. ChartGO brings it all together so your people can grow faster, perform better, and stay future ready. We're not just an LMS. We're not just a content library. ChartGO is a complete learning ecosystem built specifically for small and mid-sized businesses. Over 750 ready-to-launch courses spanning leadership, compliance, soft skills, and productivity tools. Custom learning paths designed with you, not for you. We sit down, understand your team's needs, and build structured journeys with clear start dates, milestones, and outcomes. Expert partnership at a fraction of traditional costs. Think of us as your L&D business partner, guiding you from skills gap to real implementation. Here's the difference. We don't just deliver formal learning. We integrate social learning, peer cohorts where teams share best practices, reflect together, and learn from each other's real experiences. We build in accountability by tracking progress, celebrating wins, and focusing on what matters most: actual behavior change. Because completing a course is one thing. Applying it to drive results, that's where transformation happens. The result? Increased productivity, stronger employee retention, true business continuity. This isn't about checking boxes. It's about creating an intentional learning culture where your people connect theory to practice, teams grow together, and learning drives your organizational strategy forward. ChartGO. One solution, unlimited potential. Ready to unlock your team's full potential? Let's build your learning journey together.
All right. So as I said, today we're really focusing on leadership and personal development, and we're going to kick off with what I call our growth journey. Leadership development begins with personal development. Strong leaders understand their thinking, behavior, and communication. This session, we want to show how structured learning through the ChartGO supports leadership capabilities and personal growth. The goal sits on practical leadership behavior, not just theory. So it's a very good balance that we really want to focus on. I would like to share a bit of a datum or a very profound point with you. People lead others only after they understand themselves. Self-awareness shapes leadership behavior. Leaders who understand their reactions, communication style, decision patterns, and emotions guide teams much more effectively from our experience. This connection between the personal growth and leadership performance really forms the foundation of ChartGO's learning approach. So we're going to unpack this in a lot more detail and really emphasize again our methodology, which is critical to this to truly see the behavior change. Now, let's start with the self-awareness component. Now, this is critical. Leadership begins with self-awareness. Strong leaders will have a great urge to develop their self-awareness, their emotional intelligence, they be clear in the way they communicate, be confident in the decisions they make, and of course, be super resilient. Leadership growth links personal development with daily leadership practice. Personal development strengthens leadership impact. Skills such as emotional intelligence, reflection, resilience, improved decision-making and team trust. So this is all critical, and as you can see, it all starts there with the self-awareness that we are big believers in developing and improving as a base. How do leaders bridge the self-awareness and strategy? So how do you bridge this? How does this all come together? Now, for us, leaders work with people every day, as we know. Strong relationships really depend on empathy, communication, and the emotional awareness. The personal development library that we offer really builds on these capabilities. Emotional intelligence strengthens the emotional control and awareness. Communication skills support the clarity and the influence in your team. Resilience supports leaders during pressure and uncertainty, along with change management as an example. These programs help leaders build confidence in stronger working relationships across teams. So when we talk about ChartGO, it includes a wide range of leadership solutions. And as you can see, we're talking about the inner game and the outer game, so the personal development and the leadership expertise. Our programs focus on practical leadership behaviors, which leaders apply in their daily work situations. So let's look at a couple of examples. So in time management, we will help leaders prioritize work and manage their focus and not get distracted. In change management, we help leaders guide teams during uncertainty and be that beacon of hope as such. In coaching and mentoring, how do we support our team's development? How do we coach and mentor our team in a mentoring environment? How do we pass on the technical know-how and the experience that we have in a coaching environment? How do we work with people to really close that skills gap that we identify that could be an obstacle in their career? So each module includes our learning activities, practical exercises, and is designed to move learning into action as well, and into the social learning, peer learning, and group coaching, which we're going to talk about more. So as we all know, many learning programs deliver knowledge but do not change the behavior. With our approach, we address this through the performance assurance system, our methodology, which is the backbone behind everything. So learning combines three elements for us. You have digital learning, which of course builds knowledge, and you can position as the theory and understanding. Then secondly, we talk about peer discussions, which supports reflection and shared learning. And thirdly, the group coaching element, which supports accountability and practical action. This structure helps participants apply the leadership learning inside real workplace scenarios and discussions. So it is not a generic blanket approach, but rather really working with you to truly make this real for your team. So once they've completed a course, we want to give them scenarios and situations where we can think, how can we better react to this in the future with the knowledge we've gained, and how do we get agreement on a new way of moving forward and bridging the gaps that we've had in the past. Now, again, I just want to zoom in on this methodology as such a bit. And really for us, as you can see, it's these three key pillars that brings this all together. So our focus is really on this. Firstly, the digital learning that builds knowledge. Secondly, the peer discussion that supports reflection, shared learning, social learning elements, and really learning from each other. And then thirdly, the group coaching, which supports accountability and practical action, which I already elaborated on earlier. Now, this structure helps you to apply leadership learning inside real workplace situations, and that for us is critical. So for us, that's really going to help you with your capability to truly see change and affect change as a leader. Now let's look at two critical phases that cause a change in behavior. Now, again, if we break it down a bit further, you can see our phase one, as we call it, context and connection. So we all know leadership growth often happens through conversation. When leaders discuss these real workplace situations with peers, they see new perspective. They see it from other people's reality, and they see both sides of the coin. Peer sessions create a safe space for discussion. Participants reflect on their experiences. They compare different approaches or different tactics that they've noticed that work and what's successful and what's not successful. And of course, they explore better leadership actions. So the peer discussion and the peer learning builds understanding and strengthens the commitment to new behaviors. So you can agree on a shift in thinking when you do it in a peer discussion, and we can think of approaching a situation differently rather than doing it on my own and think I know it all. Then if I go to phase two, which is the accountability and action, this is where the coaching plays a critical part. So the coaching helps participants to connect the learning with leadership situations, as I mentioned. Participants will reflect on their leadership behavior. They discuss challenges. They explore solutions. They understand possible ways to really address certain maybe niche things that they come across. The coach guides the discussion and supports the insights. So really driving the discussion, helping the individual or the group to come to realizations. This process strengthens the accountability. The participants leave the coaching sessions with clear leadership actions to apply back at work. Now, I mean, this sounds great in theory and on paper, but what will this look like in practice? So I thought I'll put together a little example for you as well to run through. So I'm going to use change management as an example. So step one will be, once you start the journey with ChartGO, is the content. So leaders will learn the core frameworks for guiding teams through their organizational uncertainty. So you will go through our change management topic and you will take key learnings from that, which involves our 5 modules that we got in this topic. Then we're going to go and we set up dedicated and focused peer discussion sessions where we get leaders to discuss with peers how we can think of reshaping or reshuffling specific elements or things in our department to lift team morale, to get more productive, to make an impact. And then we get into the group coaching. And again, this is a structured group coaching where we make the commitment, where we really get clear on implementing a targeted strategy with direct reports. And we'd say, what is the focus for the next 2 weeks, 6 weeks, or 8 weeks, where we really break it down, who's accountable, who's responsible, and give a focused outcome and a clear decision to move forward and how we're going to move forward, but all on the same page and in agreement. So that is a critical step-by-step approach, as you can see, talking about the content, the social learning, the peer discussion, and the group coaching. So folks, I want to leave you in this webinar today with maybe a bit of a takeaway that you can take from it. So, or 2 messages as such. Firstly, I think a message is leadership begins with self-awareness. As a leader, you will influence others through your behavior. your communication style, and your decision making, amongst a range of other things. Secondly, the key thing to take away is that behavior change requires practice. The learning models builds knowledge. Yeah, that's one step in this journey. But the peer discussion and the group coaching is where the rubber hits the road and really takes the learning into action. So that is, for me, the two key takeouts I wanted to leave with you and share with you today. Now, as a commitment moving forward and some reflection for you watching this webinar, think about the next 30 days. What is the one leadership behavior you will improve during the next month? So what is the one leadership behavior you can commit to saying you want to try improving over the next month? So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us, get in touch with us.